Congratulations on your purchase of the Tippmann Embosser. The Tippmann Embosser is designed and built to achieve precision quality embossing, creasing, and cutting of leather and other materials. Tippmann Industrial has designed the embosser for extreme durability and maximum owner satisfaction. This instructional video is not intended to take the place of the supplied written manual. Please take time to read through the manual thoroughly and become familiar with the Tippmann Embosser parts, operation, and safety precautions before you begin. Remove the Tippmann Embosser from the shipping container. The embosser weighs approximately 30 pounds, and care should be taken to have sufficient help available when moving to prevent personal injury or damage to the equipment. The embosser should be securely bolted to or clamped on a sturdy workbench capable of supporting its weight and the activities associated with its operation. Attach the handle to the handle arm with the supplied nut. Remember to keep your fingers and hands clear of embossing rolls, creasing rolls, and the cutting disc at all times during operation. We'll now set up the machine for cutting using the parts shown on the Setup for Cutting illustration on page 7 of your manual. Remove the parts that are currently on the shafts. Screw the grooved cutting wheel nut onto the lower shaft. Install the cutting disc using the washer and shoulder bolt. Be sure the cutting safety guard is securely installed before proceeding. Tighten the shoulder bolt with an Allen wrench. Next, align the groove in the cutting wheel nut with the cutting disc by lifting the shaft to check the fit of the cutting disc into the groove of the cutting wheel nut. Readjust the cutting wheel nut until it's properly aligned and secure it in position with the 2 locking set screws. Turn the adjustment wheel counterclockwise to set the cutting depth. Set and secure the material guides for the width of the strap that you'd like to cut. Depending on the width of your intended cut, you may wish to remove one of the 2 material guides. For freestyle cutting, you may wish to remove both of the material guides. Check for a clean cut with a similar size piece of scrap material. Readjust the setting if necessary to get a clean cut. With the proper setting, all you have to do is hold the edge of the leather against the material guide as you crank the material through, while keeping your hands at a safe distance from the cutting disc and cutting wheel nut. Here's an example of freestyle cutting. Lower or remove the material guides. Following a line drawn on the material, freeform cutting is easily accomplished. The cutting disc may also be used successfully with materials such as plastics, foam, sheet rubber, and gasket materials. We'll now set up the machine for embossing using the parts shown on the Setup for Embossing illustration on page 6 of your manual. Slide the wave washer, one embossing roll spacer, and embossing pattern die on the top shaft. Line up the key slot in the embossing pattern die and the top shaft. Insert the key. Add the second embossing roll spacer, then install and hand tighten the knurled hand nut. Install the 2-inch embossing roller on the bottom shaft. Then install and hand tighten the bottom knurled hand nut. Determine your desired embossing area and then position and secure the material guides to that area. Determine the proper adjustment wheel setting to achieve your desired embossing depth by testing different settings on a scrap piece of material similar in thickness to your final material. Then, to adjust the depth of the embossed area, turn the adjustment wheel counterclockwise to gain more depth in embossment. Turn the adjustment wheel clockwise to get less depth in embossment. Wetting the leather prior to creasing or embossing will help create a better impression. Carefully align the material between the material guides and feed the material into the machine as you turn the handle, while keeping your hands and fingers at a safe distance from the embossing pattern die and embossing roller below. This setup is with an optional embossing pattern die, the 1.5-inch basket weave pattern. Here, we're setting up to emboss using an existing older style embossing pattern die. For this die, we need to replace the 2-inch bottom roller with a 1 5/8-inch roller. Place the spring on the shaft and install and hand tighten the knurled hand nut. To edge emboss. Install the edge embossing pattern die, remembering to insert the key. Adjust the tension and again beforehand, test using a similar material. Remove the outside material guide, determine your desired position, and secure the inside material guide. Hold the material against the material guide, or you can follow a marked line, and feed the material into the machine as you turn the handle, again keeping your hands and feet at a safe distance. We'll now set up the machine for creasing using the parts shown on the Setup for Creasing illustration on page 6 of your manual. Install the creasing wheels together as a set, placing the larger wheel, A, on the top shaft and the smaller wheel, B, on the bottom shaft. Align the shafts and creasing wheel keyways and insert a key in each one. Place the springs on the shafts and install and hand tighten the knurled hand nuts. In order to determine the proper adjustment wheel setting to achieve a desired creasing depth, test different settings on a scrap piece of material similar in thickness to your final material. To adjust the depth of the increased area, turn the adjustment wheel counterclockwise to gain more depth in creasing. Turn the adjustment wheel clockwise to get less depth in creasing. Again, wetting the leather prior to creasing or embossing will help create a better impression. Then, to crease, carefully feed the material into the machine as you turn the handle, again being careful to keep your hands and fingers at a safe distance. A valuable feature of the embosser is that it requires almost no maintenance. Keeping it clean and occasionally oiled in the 4 places where the top and bottom shafts rotate in the main frame is all that's necessary. Thank you again for your purchase of this Tippmann industrial product, and enjoy your material crafting with a precision and quality-built machine. For other Tippmann industrial products or information, call our toll-free number 1-866-286-8046 or visit our website www.tippmannindustrial.com or email jim@tippmannindustrial.com.